I never imagined how 1,000 small things, old papers, and used gadgets, forgotten clothes, could silently drain my energy every day. But in just 7 days, I cleared them out. And everything changed. Not just my home, but my peace of mind. If your space feels heavy, cluttered, or overwhelming, stick with me, because this simple challenge might be exactly what you need to feel light again. If you've ever looked around your home and thought, where did all this come from? You're not alone. The clutter builds slowly. A drawer here, a box there. We save things just in case, or because they remind us of someone or some time we don't want to forget. Especially as we get older, our belongings start to feel like pieces of our history. Letting go isn't just organizing. It feels like we're letting go of moments, people, and parts of ourselves. But the truth is, the weight of those items can start to hold us back. Emotionally, physically, even mentally. And that's where this challenge began for me. So I gave myself a challenge, 7 days, to let go of 1,000 items. Not to create a perfect home, but to create space, to breathe, to think, to feel lighter. Each day had a focus: clothes, kitchen drawers, paper clutter, even digital mess. And with every bag I filled, something inside me felt lighter too. I'll walk you through exactly what I did each day, the unexpected things I discovered, and how this simple commitment transformed not just my home, but my sleep, my mindset, and my sense of control. You don't have to do it all at once. But if you're ready for a real shift, this is where it starts. Day 1. The easy wins, clothes and trash. Day 1 is all about momentum. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't worry, we're starting simple. Clothes, trash, and the things you can let go of without hesitation. These are what I call the easy yes. They don't require decision fatigue. You don't need to think about them twice. They're the items you pass by every day, knowing deep down they're just taking up space. I started with clothes because, let's face it, they tend to pile up in quiet ways. That shirt you haven't worn in years. The pants you're hoping to fit into again someday. The sweater with a rip you meant to fix last winter, but didn't. I opened my closet and set a simple rule: if I haven't worn it in the past year, it goes. No justifying, no what-ifs. To make it even easier, I grabbed a laundry basket and set a timer for 20 minutes. That's it. I told myself, you don't need to finish the entire closet. Just give it 20 focused minutes. By the end, I had already cleared out 47 items, just from clothing alone. Shirts, scarves, socks without matches, pants with stains, shoes that pinched, gone. And with each item I tossed in the bag, I felt lighter. Not just physically, but emotionally. It was like clearing out a mental corner I hadn't dusted off in years. Then came the trash. Not the smelly kind, but the quiet kind. Expired medicine in the bathroom cabinet. Dead batteries. Dried up pens. Receipts from 5 years ago, crumpled up in drawers. I didn't realize how much visual noise was hiding in plain sight. These things didn't serve me, but they were still there, cluttering up my day without me even noticing. And then, something unexpected. At the bottom of one drawer, under a pile of old scarves, I found a sweater that belonged to my mother. It still smelled faintly like her. It had a small tear near the sleeve. And I froze. That wasn't an easy yes. I sat with it for a moment. My first instinct was to keep it, of course. But I asked myself, what am I keeping here? Is it the item or the memory? The memory lives in me. I don't need the physical object to honor her. Still, I wasn't ready to let it go. So I folded it carefully and placed it in a memory box, not with the clutter, but with intention. That's the difference. Decluttering isn't about tossing everything out. It's about making conscious choices: what stays, what serves, what weighs us down, and knowing that it's okay to keep some things, as long as they're kept with purpose, not guilt. By the end of day 1, I had cleared out 126 items. That's 126 decisions that made my space and my mind feel a little freer. The momentum was real, and more importantly, I felt proud, not just because of the number, but because I started. That first step is often the hardest, but it's also the most powerful. So if you're doing this challenge with me, here's your day 1 goal. Pick one category: clothes, bathroom drawer, or random paper piles. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Focus only on the easy wins. Don't overthink. Don't organize. Just let go. And if you find something that tugs at your heart, pause. Ask yourself why it matters. Maybe you keep it. Maybe you don't. But either way, you'll be making a choice from clarity, not clutter. And just wait until day 3, when I found something I didn't even remember keeping, but it brought me to tears. Let's keep going. You've already done more than most people ever will. Day 2, kitchen chaos. Day 2 was a wake-up call, because the kitchen, without realizing it, had become one of the most cluttered and energy-draining spaces in my home. It's strange, isn't it? We spend so much time in the kitchen, preparing meals, cleaning up, sometimes just standing there thinking. It should be a calm space. But mine? It had become a storage unit with a fridge. I opened the first drawer and counted them. 6 spatulas. 6. I hadn't even noticed before. And guess what? I only use 1, maybe 2, on a regular basis. The others? They were buried at the bottom, sticky from neglect, waiting for a moment that never came. That's when it clicked. The clutter in our kitchens isn't about space. It's about habits. We hold on to duplicates, gadgets we thought we'd use, expired pantry items we meant to cook with, and utensils that haven't touched a pan in years. And every time we open a drawer or cabinet, we feel it, that tiny spike of stress or indecision. It wears on us. So I gave myself a system. 1 drawer, 1 shelf, 1 cabinet at a time. Not the whole kitchen in one go. That's overwhelming. I set a 15-minute timer and asked myself, do I actually use this weekly? Not could I use it, not maybe someday. But do I actually reach for this regularly? If not, it went in the donate or toss pile. Let's talk pantry. I pulled out expired spices I hadn't touched since 2017. Cans of food I bought during a sale but never used. Half-empty boxes of cereal that were long stale. It felt ridiculous, almost embarrassing, until I reminded myself, this is normal. Life moves fast, and clutter grows quietly. The real emotional moment came when I found a teacup set I had inherited. It had a chip in it, and I hadn't used it in years. But I was holding on to it because it had belonged to my grandmother. I paused. I remembered her sitting at the table, pouring tea, always with a kind word and a warm smile. And in that moment, I realized something important. I don't need a chipped teacup to remember how she made me feel. So instead of keeping the whole set hidden in the back of a cabinet, I chose to display 1 perfect cup on a shelf where I could see it every day. The rest? I let go. That one small shift turned a forgotten item into a daily moment of connection. By the end of the session, I had cleared out 213 items, old utensils, mismatched containers, expired food, and duplicates I didn't need. But more importantly, I felt like I could breathe in my kitchen again. Cooking became easier. Cleaning up took less time. And mentally, I felt lighter walking into that space. If you're doing this challenge with me, here's your day 2 action plan. Start with 1 drawer, 1 shelf, or 1 small area. Remove everything. Quickly toss what's expired or broken. Ask yourself, do I use this weekly? If not, it's a candidate for letting go. Keep only what serves your life right now, not what used to or might someday. And if you find something sentimental, take a moment. Honor it. Then decide what truly deserves space in your kitchen and in your life. On-screen tip: keep only what you use weekly. It's simple but powerful. And just wait until day 5, when I tackled sentimental clutter and found something that made me cry and smile at the same time. Letting go isn't always easy, but every item you release makes room for something better: clarity, calm, and the joy of a space that works for the person you are today. Let's keep going. You're doing great. Day 3, Paper Mountain. Day 3 was the one I'd been dreading: paper clutter. It sounds harmless, right? A few envelopes here, some folders there. But let me tell you, it adds up. And what I didn't expect was how heavy it would feel, not in my hands, but in my heart. We're talking old bills, instruction manuals for appliances I no longer own, warranties that expired a decade ago, bank statements from before I even retired. But mixed in with all of that were pieces of my life. Letters, cards, notes written in familiar handwriting I hadn't seen in years. That's what made this day the hardest, emotionally. I started with what I knew I could let go of: shredding anything that had my personal information but no emotional value. Utility bills from 2012? Gone. Insurance documents for policies that no longer exist? Gone. Appliance manuals? I realized almost everything is available online now. I recycled a huge stack right away. That part was satisfying, quick wins. Like clearing a mental fog I didn't realize was hanging over me. But then came the box. You know the one. The "I'll deal with this later" box. Mine had been sitting in a cabinet for years. It held letters, postcards, photos, handwritten recipes, and notes tucked away in old birthday cards. Every time I tried to declutter before, I'd open this box, feel a wave of emotion, and close it right back up. This time, I didn't run. I set a gentle rule. I don't have to get rid of anything. I just have to look. Be present with it. Acknowledge it. I found a letter from my father, written in shaky handwriting near the end of his life. It wasn't long, just a note to say he was proud of me. I had completely forgotten it existed, and as I read it, I cried. That kind of memory doesn't belong in a dusty box. So I chose to frame it, not to hold on to clutter, but to honor the connection. That's the difference. That's when I realized decluttering paper isn't just about space. It's about story. What stories are we choosing to keep close? Which ones are we finally ready to let go of? I sorted everything into 4 piles. Shred, anything with personal info but no value. Recycle, generic documents, junk mail, old catalogs. Keep with purpose, important medical records, legal documents, IDs, and a few special letters. Memory box, only the most meaningful items, chosen intentionally. By the end of the day, I had cleared over 180 pieces of paper. Some were small, like receipts. Others were emotional, but each decision felt like a breath of fresh air. And yes, I kept one letter, the one from my dad. I read it twice that day, once with tears and once with a quiet smile. That's what this process is about. Not just throwing things away, but making room for what truly matters. If you're following along, here's your day 3 plan. Gather all loose paper from drawers, boxes, countertops. Start with the easy stuff. Expired, irrelevant, outdated. Shred what's personal. Recycle what's not. Set aside 30 minutes for anything emotional. Letters, photos, cards. Choose only the ones that still speak to your heart. Let go of the rest with gratitude. And just wait until day 4. When we enter the garage, what I found buried under old paint cans shocked me and changed the way I think about someday projects. Decluttering paper is more than tidying up. It's reclaiming your history on your terms. You've made it this far. Keep going. You're stronger than you think. Day 4, the hidden storage, drawers. Day 4 took me to the places I usually avoided, those hidden storage spots. Drawers stuffed to the brim. Closets crammed with forgotten things. Corners piled with mystery boxes. You know the kind, they out of sight, out of mind, places that somehow gather dust, memories, and clutter all at once. When I first opened these spaces, it felt like stepping into a time capsule. Each drawer and closet held items I hadn't seen or thought about in years. Old gadgets with no cords, forgotten craft supplies, holiday decorations from decades ago, and clothes I didn't even remember owning. There were things I'd stashed away thinking I'd need them someday. But that someday never came. What struck me most wasn't just the clutter, it was the dust. Thin layers coating everything like a reminder that time had passed without me noticing. And with the dust came a flood of emotions. Each item told a story, a birthday gift, a hobby I once loved, a phase of life that had quietly slipped away. But here's the truth I learned. These hidden storage spaces don't have to be emotional traps. They can become places of discovery and freedom. I approached this day with a simple mindset: uncover, acknowledge, and decide. I pulled everything out of each drawer and closet section by section. I didn't rush. Instead, I gave myself permission to feel whatever came up: nostalgia, regret, joy, even relief. Sometimes, just acknowledging these feelings was enough to help me let go. One drawer held a stack of old greeting cards, birthday wishes from friends I hadn't spoken to in years. Another closet shelf had boxes of craft supplies for hobbies I no longer pursued. And in a corner, a box of old photo albums. Some falling apart, others carefully preserved. For each item, I asked myself, does this serve me today? Does it bring me joy or peace? Or is it holding me back? If the answer was no, I thanked it for the memories and placed it in a donate or recycle pile. If yes, I found a new, organized spot for it, something accessible and meaningful. By the end of the day, I'd cleared 3 full drawers and 1 closet section, totaling over 150 items. More than the numbers, I felt a weight lift. It was like opening windows in a room that had been closed for too long, fresh air and light rushing in. If this day teaches us anything, it's that out of sight doesn't have to mean out of control. Hidden spaces can be reclaimed as calm corners of our home and heart. For your Day 4 challenge, pick one drawer or one closet section. Empty it completely. Sort items into keep, donate, or toss. Take your time with anything sentimental. Organize what stays with intention. Remember, it's okay to take breaks. Decluttering isn't a race. It's a journey back to yourself. Tomorrow, Day 5 will get even more personal. We'll face sentimental clutter head-on. And trust me, some discoveries will surprise you, and maybe even bring tears. You're doing amazing. Each item you let go is a step closer to freedom. Keep going. Day 5, Sentimental Items. Day 5 was the day I knew would be the toughest, sentimental clutter. The stuff that isn't just things, but pieces of my life, my history, my heart. Old photos, keepsakes, heirlooms passed down through generations. These items carry memories, stories, and emotions that make letting go feel almost impossible. But here's what I learned. Decluttering sentimental items isn't about throwing away love. It's about choosing what truly matters and what helps you live fully today. I started with a box of old photos, albums, loose pictures, faded Polaroids. Each snapshot was a frozen moment. Birthdays, holidays, vacations, loved ones long gone. I felt my chest tighten, remembering the laughter and tears behind each image. How could I possibly decide which to keep? I realized that I didn't have to keep everything physical to hold onto those memories. Technology can be a powerful friend here. So I took photos of some pictures and albums, with my phone digitizing them to keep the memory alive without keeping the clutter. It was freeing, like making space in my heart and home at the same time. Then came the keepsakes, old jewelry, trophies, handwritten notes, and little trinkets that told stories. Some were heirlooms from my parents or grandparents, delicate, fragile, full of meaning. I handled each item slowly, asking myself, does this item bring me joy when I see or hold it? Does it connect me to something important right now? Or is it holding me back by anchoring me to a past that I'm ready to leave behind? Some things I chose to keep but moved to a special place. A memory box or display shelf, so they weren't buried in clutter, but honored as treasures. Others I photographed or wrote down the story behind them before passing them on or donating them, knowing their value would live on in a different way. One moment stood out. I found a delicate locket my mother gave me years ago. It had been tucked away, forgotten. I hadn't worn it in a long time, but holding it brought a rush of warmth and love. I decided to keep it close, wearing it on days when I needed a little extra strength. This process was emotional, sometimes tears, sometimes smiles, but it was healing. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means making room for new memories and joys while honoring the past. By the end of the day, I had sorted through dozens of sentimental items, kept only what truly resonated with me, and freed up a surprising amount of space. And more than that, I felt lighter, like I'd cleared not just physical clutter, but emotional clutter too. If you're on this journey with me, here's your Day 5 plan. Gather your sentimental items in one spot. Take your time, no rush. Photograph items you want to remember but don't need physically. Keep only what brings you genuine joy or comfort. Consider creating a memory box or special display for treasured keepsakes. Write down stories behind items if it helps to preserve the memory. Let go of the rest with gratitude. It's not losing love, it's honoring it. On-screen suggestion: take a photo, keep the memory. Tomorrow's Day 6 is all about reclaiming your living space. I tackled the biggest room in my home, and what I found there surprised me. Remember, this challenge isn't just about tidying up, it's about creating space for peace, purpose, and joy. You're doing incredible work. Keep going. Day 6, Digital Declutter. Day 6 was different. Unlike the piles of clothes or boxes of keepsakes, this clutter wasn't something I could touch or hold. It lived inside my devices. My phone, my computer, my inbox. Digital clutter. At first, it seemed less important, less urgent. After all, how much harm could old emails or unused apps really do? But the truth hit me fast. Clutter isn't just physical. It's mental, emotional, and it shows up in my digital world too. I noticed my phone felt sluggish. Notifications piled up, emails stacked in the thousands. Apps I hadn't opened in months or years. Each ping and pop-up added to a quiet stress I hadn't fully recognized. My digital space was messy, and it was weighing me down. So, I decided to tackle it head on. First, I tackled the email inbox. I started small, deleting 100 emails. Some were old newsletters I never read. Others were promotional messages for things I no longer cared about. The more I deleted, the lighter I felt. I unsubscribed from lists that didn't serve me anymore. It was like clearing out a noisy room in my mind. Next, I moved to apps. I went through every app on my phone and tablet. Games I'd stopped playing. Tools I'd never learned to use. Social media platforms I'd outgrown. If I hadn't used it in the last 3 months, it was gone. Freeing up space on my devices felt like freeing up space in my day. Files and photos on my computer came next. I deleted duplicates, old downloads, and documents I no longer needed. I organized the rest into folders with clear labels. I even backed up important files to the cloud, so they're safe, but not cluttering my hard drive. By the end of the day, my digital world felt lighter, clearer, and more manageable. I wasn't just organizing data, I was reclaiming my time, focus, and peace of mind. If you're following along, here's your day 6 plan. Set a timer for 15 to 30 minutes. Delete at least 100 old emails. Unsubscribe from unwanted lists. Uninstall apps you haven't used in 3+ months. Clear duplicates and unnecessary files on your computer or phone. Organize what you keep into folders or albums. Consider backing up important files to the cloud or external drive. On-screen tip: delete 100 emails. Uninstall unused apps. Remember, digital clutter impacts your mental space just as much as physical clutter impacts your home. Taking control of it can feel like a breath of fresh air for your mind. Mini hook: tomorrow is the final day, day 7, the grand reveal. I'll share how losing 1,000 items over 7 days didn't just change my space, but transformed my entire outlook on life. You're almost there. Keep going. You're doing amazing. Day 7, final sweep and maintenance plan. Day 7, the final stretch. The day I'd been both looking forward to and quietly fearing. After 6 days of hard work, emotions, and discoveries, it was time for the final sweep. But more than that, it was the day I realized this wasn't just about decluttering. It was about designing a lighter, freer future. I started by revisiting the areas that had been toughest, the drawers I'd barely opened, the sentimental boxes I'd hesitated over, the digital folders I hadn't quite finished sorting. This wasn't about perfection. It was about compassion and patience with myself. I reminded myself that letting go is a process, not a single event. I found a few things I'd missed: a sweater hiding behind shoes, a stack of old magazines under the bed, a folder of emails marked important that really weren't. Each item I revisited. I asked again, does this serve me today? Does it bring me peace or hold me back? Every no was a gift, another chance to release what no longer fit into my life. By mid-morning, I'd removed the last 50 items from my home, bringing my total to over 1,000 things gone in just 1 week. But what surprised me most wasn't the physical space I'd gained. It was the mental space, the lightness in my step, the calm that settled into my days. Then I turned my attention to maintenance. Because decluttering is not a one-time event, but a lifestyle, I developed a simple plan to keep clutter at bay. Daily 5-minute tidy. Spend 5 minutes each day putting things back in their place. A small habit that keeps mess from building. Weekly quick scan. Once a week, pick one drawer, shelf, or corner to review and clear if needed. Monthly mini declutter. Dedicate 15 minutes a month to tackle items that have accumulated. Sentimental check-in. Every few months, revisit keepsakes and photos. Ask if they still spark joy or need reevaluation. Digital detox. Regularly delete emails, uninstall unused apps, and organize files, just like day 6. This plan feels doable, even for someone who's never been a neat freak. It's about creating peace, not pressure. I also reminded myself to practice kindness. Some days will be harder. Some things may sneak back in, and that's okay. Decluttering is a journey, not a destination. If you're finishing this challenge with me, here's your day 7 plan. Revisit your hardest spots. Be gentle but honest. Let go of the last bits of clutter weighing you down. Create a maintenance routine that fits your life. Celebrate your progress. You've done something incredible. Decluttering isn't just about throwing things away. It's about making space for memories, for peace, for new experiences. It's about choosing what truly matters. And in doing so, you're designing a life that feels lighter, freer, and full of possibility. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Remember, every item you let go of is a step toward the best version of yourself. If you found this challenge helpful, check out my next video where I share simple habits to keep your home and your mind clutter-free for good. You've done amazing work. Here's to a lighter, brighter future. After losing my partner, I found myself holding on to so many things: clothes, letters, little mementos, thinking if I kept them close, it would keep their memory alive. But over time, the clutter started to feel heavier, like it was weighing down my heart more than lifting it up. One day, I realized something important. Memories aren't locked inside drawers or boxes, they live inside me. Letting go of those things wasn't about losing love. It was about making space to heal. It was freeing myself from the weight of the past, so I could open my heart to peace and new beginnings. That moment changed everything. If you're struggling with letting go, know that it's okay to feel sad, and it's okay to let go too. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing love for yourself right now. This is what 1,000 fewer items look like: a home transformed from chaos to calm. Every room feels lighter, more open, like it's finally breathing along with me. But the real difference isn't just the space, it's the peace I've gained. The freedom to move without overwhelm, to find things easily, and to feel at home in my own life again. It's amazing how letting go of stuff can make room for joy, clarity, and calm. If you're feeling stuck in clutter, remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Less stuff means more peace, more energy, and a home that truly reflects who you are today. You deserve that calm, and it's waiting for you. If this video gave you even a little spark to start your own decluttering journey, I'd love to hear from you. What's one area in your home that needs a fresh start? Drop it in the comments. I might cover it next. And if letting go of just one item brought you peace today, tap that like button. It tells me this kind of content matters. Don't forget to subscribe. There's more to come, including a gentle 10-minute closet detox you can do anytime. You'll find that linked right here. You're not alone in this. Every small step toward simplicity is a big step toward peace. Let's keep walking this path together.